Okay, welcome in everyone, and thank you for joining us today. So I'm very excited today to talk about a subject that is not only shaping the future of AV systems, but also redefining how we experience the world around us. So this session is titled The AV Network Effect, and today we're going to be exploring how AV over IP has moved far beyond replacing traditional routing hardware. It's now a driver of human-centered innovation, whether that's helping students feel more connected in a hybrid classroom, enabling a seamless guest experience in hotels and hospitality, or creating immersive worship environments. But before we dive in, I'd like to give you a quick intro into who we are as a company, just for those of you who may not be as familiar with PureLink. So PureLink was founded in 2002 by Minsu Park, our founder, who saw a critical flaw in the original HDC specification. So recognizing that there was a lack of support for commercial applications, he took action, collaborating with Intel to help reshape HDCP to better serve the professional AV market. So this wasn't just a technical fix, it was the beginning of a philosophy, one that puts performance, innovation, and real-world use cases first. And we haven't stopped innovating since. So when we say we've led the way, we mean it. Here's a brief look at some of our firsts over the last 2 decades. And this year in 2025, we've actually introduced 2 more major milestones, one of them being our new push-go meeting room solution. So this is our all-in-one meeting room system that includes audio, video, control, and cabling shipped to you in one box. And our second major milestone, which is our 8K ready cross-platform matrix that supports native and IP workflows in a single chassis. So today, PureLink is more than a manufacturer. We are a house of brands engineered to support any installation environment. So we have first our Icon control and automation system. We have our push-go meeting room solutions, our Max 2 cross-platform matrix switching, our PureStream AV over IP, Pure Media, which is our first generation cross-platform matrix, HD Tools, which is our everyday AV solutions, and Total Wire for connectivity and cabling. So altogether, these brands let integrators build entire systems around reliable, high-performance building blocks. So we serve 400 plus clients currently, ranging from Fortune 500 companies, global institutions, government and military clients, universities, house of worship, entertainment venues and theme parks, the cruise industry, and much more. Our clients rely on us when failure isn't an option. So whether that's a command center, corporate headquarters, or a live event control room, we design solutions to meet the most rigorous demands. So that's just a little bit on who we are as a company. So now let's get into today's webinar, the AV Network Effect, how digital infrastructure shapes human experience. So first, to ask the question of why this conversation matters in the first place. So AV over IP adoption is accelerating across virtually every market vertical, but let's challenge a common misconception. This technology is no longer just about replacing a legacy matrix switcher. It's about building flexible, scalable, human-centric digital infrastructures that deliver dynamic experiences. So consider the shift from AV as an isolated technical system to AV as the core of what we call experience architecture. Environments intentionally designed to respond, adapt, and engage users in real time. So the network becomes the nervous system, routing not just signals, but facilitating an ecosystem where content, interaction, and automation blend seamlessly. So this conversation matters because it places AV at the heart of how spaces are designed and experienced in the digital age. Gone are the days that AV was an afterthought, added only after a space was designed and constructed, meant simply to bring it to life. Today, that paradigm has shifted fundamentally. So AV is now the starting point, the very foundation of the design process, shaping how spaces are planned, built, and ultimately experienced, with every element crafted around it to create truly dynamic and responsive environments. So before we delve any further, I just want to take a moment to revisit the fundamentals. So AV over IP refers to the transmission of audio and video signals over network infrastructure using Internet Protocol or IP. Traditional AV systems use dedicated cables and matrix switchers to route the signals between sources and displays. And each connection typically requires its own cable, and scaling the system means adding more physical infrastructure. In contrast, AV over IP converts audiovisual signals into data packets that can be transmitted over standard network cables and switches, offering you greater flexibility and scalability. So unlike traditional AV systems that rely on dedicated point-to-point connections, AV over IP solutions leverage standard network infrastructure to distribute multimedia content across any number of endpoints. And now to get into some of the key advantages of AV over IP. So first, extended transmission distance. With AV over IP, you can transmit signals over hundreds of meters using standard low-cost network cabling. So this not only simplifies installation, but also allows for remote and cloud-based management, making it ideal for large campuses or multi-site operations. Next is high scalability and flexibility. One of the greatest strengths of AV over IP is how effortlessly systems can grow and adapt. So unlike traditional matrix switchers with fixed input and output configurations, network-based systems scale organically as your needs evolve, and devices can be added, relocated, or reconfigured without the need to replace cabling or major hardware, making them ideal for phased upgrades or expanding facilities. And even better, any source can be routed to any destination without the physical limitations of traditional setups. System changes are made through software, not hardware, allowing for rapid reconfiguration and unmatched flexibility in both design and day-to-day operation. And finally, cost-effective and efficient. So while the initial investment in AV over IP may be higher at times, the long-term savings are significant. So by leveraging your existing IT infrastructure and standard network equipment, you avoid the need for expensive proprietary systems, specialized cabling, and major rewiring. These systems are easier to maintain, troubleshoot, and expand, especially as your system grows. So the larger the deployment, the greater the return in both time and cost efficiency. Overall, AV over IP delivers powerful, future-ready performance while keeping your infrastructure lean and adaptable. But the story doesn't end with technology alone. So AV over IP is part of a broader evolution where AV becomes a core pillar of experience architecture, not just a support system, but a key driver of how people communicate, collaborate, and connect. And this convergence of AV and IT is more than a technical integration. It's truly a cultural transformation. Organizations now see AV as woven into the digital fabric of their spaces, powering immersive meeting rooms, dynamic collaboration hubs, and seamless content delivery that respond in real time to user needs. In this new era, AV over IP isn't simply a replacement technology. It's the foundation for smart, connected environments where experience is engineered with precision, agility, and intelligence. It empowers spaces to evolve as quickly as people's needs do, fostering innovation and engagement at every level. So let's look at what is driving this evolution. According to Accenture, 78% of users expect seamless digital experiences, a demand that spans both consumer and enterprise environments. Hybrid engagement models mixing in-person and virtual interactions have now become the default, accelerating the need for AV systems that are flexible, intuitive, and reliable. So whether you're a university trying to offer flexible learning or a brand designing immersive retail spaces, the pressure is the same. Moreover, consumer-grade digital experiences are setting new standards in enterprise spaces. People expect the same smoothness, responsiveness, and personalization in their workspaces, their retail environments, and public venues as they get from their smartphones or their smart homes. And the new key performance indicator, or KPI, isn't just uptime or bandwidth, it's engagement. How does this space make me feel? How quickly can I connect? AV is no longer invisible. It's front and center in shaping the human experience. And these trends aren't just abstract. They're embedded in how we design, plan, and deliver the systems today. So to bring these concepts to life, let's examine how AV over IP is reshaping different industries, from corporate, retail, houses of worship, education, to military, highlighting trends, real-world applications, and impacts. And as I walk through the following snapshots that I'll show you, just take some time to think about your own environments in your day-to-day. Where are there moments of friction? Where is there opportunity to deliver more presence, more clarity, or more personalization? So first, let's talk about how AV over IP is transforming the corporate environment, not just as a tool, but as a core component of experience architecture. Now, when we think about AV in corporate settings, our minds often jump straight to the conference room and the meeting spaces, and for good reason. These are critical hubs of collaboration, and they've only become more complex with the rise of hybrid work. But there is another side of corporate AV that's also rapidly gaining ground, which is in digital signage. So today's companies are realizing that AV isn't just about facilitating meetings, it's about fostering culture, driving alignment, and enabling real-time communication across departments, floors, and even continents. And in the corporate world, clear communication is the backbone of productivity and culture. So studies reveal that companies with effective digital signage see up to a 25% jump in employee productivity. But what truly underpins that number? So Emory's partnered with PureLink distributor Syncamation to modernize their US corporate offices with a dynamic AV over IP digital signage and control system. The installation included a striking 2x2 video wall in the main lobby for client-facing content and internal displays in employee areas broadcasting real-time company updates, news, and stats, all centrally managed. Now, this centralized network did more than just streamline communication. It created a living information ecosystem where content is tailored and timely and employees feel connected across dispersed locations. So the future here isn't just about bigger screens or faster signals. It's about contextual intelligence embedded in your AV. Networks that can shift messaging by department, by role, by team, etc., delivering exactly the right information at the right moment. So think about your own projects. How can AV infrastructure better support timely, relevant communication? Could your systems be more responsive to different teams, departments, or shifts without the complex rewiring or costly upgrades? So this is where AV over IP scalability and centralized control really deliver value. It enables organizations to communicate clearly and adapt quickly as their needs change. Now moving on to retail and entertainment. So currently we're seeing immersive AV experiences increase dwell time by up to 30%. So when we think about entertainment and retail spaces, we often default to their core offerings. So for example, at an aquarium, that would be the animals there. At a theme park, that would be the rides themselves, the roller coaster, essentially the product on the shelf. But those core experiences are no longer enough on their own. Today, the expectation is not just to see something, but to feel fully immersed in it. So at the Georgia Aquarium, PureLink deployed a facility-wide AV over IP extension system that redefined how guests move through and engage with the space. So instead of static exhibits, visitors now experience massive synchronized video walls, interactive signage, and distributed content that builds anticipation, guides movement, and enhances storytelling across the entire venue. And this shift is part of a broader trend. We're seeing entertainment venues and retailers turn to immersive technology as a primary experience layer. Another example is that a lot of the PureLink systems are deployed in major theme parks and amusement parks around the world, places where rides are evolving from mechanical thrills into fully integrated AV journeys. So the ride vehicle may still move, but it's the surrounding media, the soundscape, the lighting, and the precise timing of AV content that creates the magic. And why is this happening? Because the human experience is shifting. People want emotional engagement, surprise, and personalization. AV technology, when designed intentionally, is becoming the connective tissue that elevates a good visit into an unforgettable one. So as you think about your own projects, ask yourself, where can AV help amplify the core experience instead of just supporting it? How can scalable infrastructure open up future creative possibilities? The most successful spaces are no longer attractions. They're dynamic, story-driven environments, and it's AV that brings them to life. And at the same time, as you consider these kinds of environments, ask yourself, are your AV systems scalable enough to handle future growth? Are they flexible enough to support new exhibits, events, or changes in layout without major overhauls? So that's another critical consideration, because unlike traditional environments, retail stores and entertainment venues are rarely static. They're constantly evolving. Displays shift, new attractions get added, and temporary exhibits rotate in and out. Store layouts also get refreshed for seasonal campaigns. So what worked 2 years ago or a year ago might already feel outdated today. Today, the most effective AV infrastructures are the ones that can scale without limits and adapt without disruption. So systems that allow you to add displays, introduce new sources, or rezone content delivery without tearing into walls or overhauling entire networks. Systems that can be reprogrammed or repurposed as quickly as the experiences themselves. And this is the kind of architectural flexibility that has gone from being a luxury to a necessity, especially as media becomes a central part of how these environments attract, engage, and retain their audiences. So the real question becomes, is your system built for what's now or for what's next? Will it empower you to adapt or require you to rebuild? The environments may keep changing, but your infrastructure doesn't necessarily have to. Now, when we think of house of worship AV, many of us picture a camera pointed at the pulpit, a basic live stream setup, and maybe a couple of projectors for in-room display. But the reality today is much more dynamic and much more powerful. Hybrid worship is not just a pandemic era workaround, it's now a defining feature of modern ministry. So 62% of congregations now stream weekly services. So they're combining in-person worship with digital broadcasts and interactive experiences. And now it's not just necessarily about extending reach, it's about deepening engagement. So we're seeing this AV over IP adoption sweep churches, including that of St. Patrick Catholic Church in Louisiana, where we did a recent project upgrading their live streaming setup. And what we've gathered from this church and the many more we've supported is that the congregation has become boundaryless. People are attending from across the country, across time zones, across continents. But with that comes an expectation that the remote experience feels just as meaningful and immersive as being in the room. And that takes more than a single camera and a YouTube stream. That takes systems built for a seamless content distribution across multiple zones. Cameras, displays, overflow rooms, lobbies, and live streaming platforms all working together in real time with quality and clarity that reflects the excellence of the message itself. And this is where flexible, scalable AV infrastructure shine. So worship spaces aren't just sanctuaries anymore, they're media centers. They're constantly evolving, expanding to multi-campus environments, building studios for pre-recorded content, hosting hybrid Bible studies, interactive youth programming for one, even live Q&As and guest sermons. So that means AV systems need to evolve too. They must be flexible enough to route content anywhere, whether it's to the nursery, the fellowship hall, or an online platform. It has to be simple enough to operate by volunteers, not just professional engineers, and powerful enough to handle high-res video, clean audio, and multiple inputs and outputs simultaneously without delay or degradation. And importantly, they must be adaptable because worship is not static. Environments change, congregations grow, and needs shift. So here's what I want you to ask. Are you building media infrastructure that can evolve with your ministry's mission? Can your AV system support deeper connection, wider reach, and richer storytelling, not just today, but in 5 years? Hybrid worship isn't the future, it's the now. And the question is whether the technology is keeping pace. So now let's talk about education, but not just hybrid classes and Zoom rooms, because today's classrooms aren't just spaces to absorb information. They're platforms for interaction, immersion, and adaptability. And the role of technology in education isn't about replacing the teacher. It's about amplifying every part of the learning experience. So 75% of higher ed institutions are increasing tech budgets post-pandemic, and 83% see flexible learning as vital. The chalkboard has been replaced not because it failed, but because the needs of students have evolved. Attention is now fragmented, learning happens across devices, and students expect the same level of interactivity from their learning environment that they experience everywhere else in their lives. At the same time, institutions from K through 12 schools to major universities are facing pressure to do more with less. Larger class sizes, multiple campuses, diverse learning styles, remote learners, hybrid schedules, STEM programs, and lab environments, collaboration hubs. And through all of this, they need to create an equitable, consistent, and engaging learning experience for every student. And that's where scalable, adaptable AV systems become mission critical. Because education isn't static. Classrooms change, programs shift, labs expand. One day it's a lecture, the next it could be a multi-campus symposium with remote guests and real-time data visualization. Modern classrooms are being reimagined as interactive learning environments with technologies that support content sharing across multiple screens and devices, multi-source routing for labs, flipped classrooms and active learning spaces, etc. And it goes deeper than just streaming a lesson to a student at home. Today's AV systems enable immersive learning. So case in point, at Olds College in Canada, AV over IP powers live 4K surgical procedure capture across multiple labs and classrooms, allowing students to watch, annotate, and discuss in real time, whether they're on campus or joining remotely. So what once required physical presence is now an ongoing interactive learning experience across the institution. And to get into military applications, so while traditional AV systems remain deeply entrenched in military operations, AV over IP is increasingly carving out a vital role in defense environments, especially as network security technologies improve and confidence in IP infrastructure grows. So 70% of defense organizations are modernizing training and command environments with real-time AV distribution. And one of the fastest growing applications is simulation and training. Modern military training demands highly realistic, flexible environments that can incorporate multiple data sources, live video feeds, and real-time interaction across distributed spaces. AV over IP's ability to deliver high resolution, low latency video and audio over secure managed networks makes it an ideal fit. So we're seeing AV over IP systems deployed in simulation centers where multiple labs, briefing rooms, and operations centers need synchronized content distribution with precise timing and control. So this enables immersive mission rehearsals and tactical exercises that improve readiness and coordination. But beyond training, AV over IP is also beginning to support command and control environments as well. And of course, security remains paramount. And today's deployments use encrypted air-gapped networks and layered security protocols to ensure that AV traffic meets strict defense standards without compromising performance. So looking ahead, AV over IP is certainly poised to play an even bigger role as military organizations seek agile, scalable, and integrated AV infrastructures that support multi-domain operations and cross-facility coordination. And while it's still certainly an emerging area, recent surveys do show that over 2/3 of new military training and command projects are exploring and adopting these technologies. So the takeaway is that AV over IP is no longer just a future possibility. It is a growing trusted component of military AV, enabling more immersive training, enhanced situational awareness, and flexible operational workflows. So I want to take a moment to break down where AV over IP shines and where baseband still holds value. So we're sometimes asked, Does AV over IP replace traditional baseband routing? And the answer is not always. It depends entirely on the application and priorities of the environment. So AV over IP gives you massive flexibility. It's scalable, adaptable, and built on standard IT infrastructure. So you can route signals anywhere across the network, scale up without recabling, and integrate with control systems easily. It's ideal for multi-room venues, campuses, hybrid spaces, anywhere you want that software-defined flexibility. On the other hand, baseband still plays a critical role, especially in mission-critical, low latency or isolated environments where dedicated bandwidth and physical separation are non-negotiable. So think military command centers, live broadcast production, or ultra-secure government facilities. So instead of asking which is better, we should be asking what does the environment need? It's important not to think of these technologies as competing, but complementary tools. The right tool depends on application context, latency tolerance, infrastructure readiness, as well as budget. In many cases, a hybrid approach makes sense as well, leveraging AV over IP for general routing and experience delivery and using baseband where performance or security demands it. So it's not necessarily a one-size-fits-all conversation, it's a design strategy. One of the biggest decisions in AV over IP design today is also choosing between 1G and 10G infrastructure. And the reality is that there's a lot of marketing noise out there. So here's the truth. For the vast majority of real-world applications, hospitality, education, retail, corporate, and house of worship, 1G is not just sufficient, it's smarter. 1G solutions today support visually lossless 4K 60, low latency, multi-view layouts, and even complex USB KVM workflows, all while keeping infrastructure costs and power consumption in check. So 10G might be necessary for highly specialized uncompressed workflows such as medical imaging, but for 95% of environments, the performance gains are marginal compared to the increased costs and deployment challenges. So don't fall into the spec trap. Focus on what your environment actually demands and not just what looks good on paper. So if AV over IP is the nervous system of a space, control and automation is the brain. Without intelligent control, AV over IP can quickly become complex. You need systems that can dynamically manage routing, simplify user interaction, and adapt based on real-time conditions. Control platforms unify disparate AV endpoints, turning distributed gear into a single seamless environment. This isn't just about switching sources, it's about orchestration. And automation takes it further, adjusting lighting, launching presets, managing hybrid meetings, etc. So AV over IP gives you the flexibility, while control and automation give you the usability. So in analyzing the overarching impact of AV over IP, at least within the context of human-centered design, there are three major themes I want to explore. One is the democratization of AV technology. So AV over IP has helped democratize access to high-quality AV technology. And what used to be a luxury reserved for stadiums, broadcast centers, or Fortune 500 headquarters is now achievable for smaller schools, retail chains, and community spaces. And that is because the barriers have dropped. IP-based systems are modular, cost-effective, and scalable. You no longer have to overhaul your entire building to get started. You can just go room by room, zone by zone. And in today's world, these technologies are also not optional, they're expected. And spaces that fail to meet digital expectations fall behind, whether that's in engagement, accessibility, or operational efficiency. So this shift is transforming AV from a luxury into an operational necessity. The next theme is infrastructure as living design. So we're entering an era where AV infrastructure behaves more like software than hardware. It's living, responsive, and shaped by how people use space. AV over IP enables environments that adapt to events, occupancy, time of day, and user roles. And classrooms transform for lectures, discussions, or hybrid sessions. Retail displays change dynamically based on inventory or demographic insights, And infrastructure is no longer fixed, it evolves. And it's this adaptability that makes AV over IP more than just a transport technology, it becomes a part of experience architecture. And lastly, operational agility and future proofing. So with remote management, you can push updates, diagnose issues, and manage routing without ever touching hardware on site, reducing downtime, lowering support costs, and this also enhances resilience. So standards-based systems also ensure you're not locked into a single vendor. You can mix and match components as needs evolve, extending the life of your investment. Ultimately, AV over IP prepares your space not just for today, but for what's coming and what's next. So what does all of this mean? So AV over IP isn't just about replacing traditional hardware. It's reshaping how we design and inhabit space. It's moved from being a behind-the-scenes utility to a driver of human-centered design. And flexibility and scalability aren't simply checkboxes. They're foundational to environments that evolve in real time. So whether that's a classroom shifting from lecture to collaboration mode, a retail space adapting promotions across time zones, or a house of worship extending its reach beyond its four walls, AV over IP enables these transformations effortlessly. And more importantly, digital infrastructure has become the invisible layer that shapes how we feel in a space. It guides how people navigate, how they participate, how they connect. It's not just about pixels and packets, it's about presence, perception, and performance. And as expectations continue to rise, AV over IP gives us the tools to meet them, not reactively, but proactively. This isn't just a new way to move video and audio, it's a new way to design experiences. So now let's explore how real-world AV over IP solutions are putting this into action. So now that we've explored the broader impact of AV over IP and its role in shaping modern experiences, I want to shift gears and talk about what this looks like in practice and introduce PureStream. So for those of you who are more unfamiliar, this is our AV over IP brand, and it offers a full ecosystem for the ability to create an entire network system or for the ability to just pick and choose setups for an existing setup. So VIP is our line of video over IP solutions as part of this PureStream brand that includes media hubs or network switches, as well as various camera types and encoder decoder systems that can all be controlled via our icon control and automation system. But now let's take a closer look at some of our PureStream solutions. So first up, we have the VIP T450 AV over IP distribution system with Dante. So this system is TA compliant and designed for mission critical environments that demand high performance video and low latency responsiveness. So think command centers, live production, broadcast facilities, or enterprise video networks. With full 4K 6444 HDR support and Dante audio integration, it bridges video, audio, and USB keyboard mouse over IP. Whether you're transporting high fidelity visuals or routing USB devices across long distances, the VIP T450 is engineered for environments where precision matters. And so this solution is ideal for broadcast, command centers, military, simulation, and anywhere signal integrity is non-negotiable. And next we have the VIP T400 AV over IP distribution system. So this encoder decoder pairing brings 4K 6444 video, USB KM, and control signals together into a compact, powerful system. It is also TA compliant and perfect for spaces like military operations centers, boardrooms, training environments where fast switching, reliable AV transport, and interactive control are essential. It also supports instant switching, video walls up to 8x8, and embedded scaling, as well as powerful USB support all over standard 1G infrastructure. And you get advanced processing without needing 10G, which keeps deployments lean, efficient, and cost-effective. And for environments that demand minimal footprint and maximum integration, such as classrooms, conference rooms, or secure government spaces, this is our VIP T400E wall plate, which is the perfect fit. It is a full 4K 60 HDR encoder in wall plate form. with support for USB 2.0, instant switching, and embedded control. So you get all of the power of our T400 series in a format that blends directly into the environment. This is AV that disappears into the architecture while still delivering that enterprise level performance. And when 1080p is all you need, the VIP 150 delivers incredible efficiency without compromising features. It's lightweight, more affordable, and highly scalable, ideal for digital signage networks, KVM setups, or education deployments. With multi-view support, H.264, H.265 encoding, and full USB extension over 1G, it brings powerful functionality to budget-conscious projects. And so this is ideal for schools, healthcare, signage, or overflow spaces that still need that professional grade reliability. Now let's explore the VIP Stream 200, which is our HDMI streaming encoder. So this isn't just a convenient streaming solution, it's a powerful, compact tool designed for maximum versatility. This device allows you to stream to up to 4 platforms at once, including YouTube, Facebook, OBS, Twitter, and more. It also has built-in image preview and local capture, as well as an intuitive built-in web user interface. It also features a full front panel LED display so you can monitor connection status, stream activity, and troubleshoot on the fly. And it has HDMI loop out for confidence monitoring as well as audio insertion, so you can add a voiceover or background music without needing to reprocess your entire video input. So that feature is one that is particularly useful in education, worship, and training settings. So whether you're streaming live events, corporate communications, lectures, hybrid meetings, the VIP Stream 200 packs power and flexibility into a very small, easy to deploy form factor. And it's ideal for anyone who needs the professional streaming without the complexity. And now to just introduce a few of our camera solutions. So first I want to discuss the VIP Cam 100 NDI. So if you're looking for a broadcast ready flexibility, this is your camera. It's a full HD PTZ camera with NDI support and multi-output format for live broadcast, conferencing, or surveillance. It's 20x optical zoom, multiple control protocols and outputs make it a true all-in-one performer. And this is ideal, again, for streaming studios, auditoriums, boardrooms, and hybrid events requiring flexible, high-quality AV capture. And for more standard applications, the VIP Cam 3020X offers high-quality PTZ functionality with USB 2.0, HDMI, and IP streaming. And this is ideal for recording lectures, capturing meetings, or supporting hybrid classrooms. It's designed for simplicity, so just plug it into your AV or USB-based system and you're ready to go. Easy to control, easy to deploy, and easy to scale. And of course, your AV over IP system is only as strong as the network behind it. And this is our VIP Net 2404 PL3 1G, which is a 24-port PoE Layer 3 managed switch with 4 10G uplinks, purpose-built for mid-sized AV deployments. And it supports IGMP, jumbo frame, LACP, and all of the protocols needed to make your AV traffic smooth and reliable. And if you need more ports, we have the 4804. This switch scales everything up to support large campuses, broadcast centers, or multi-zone facilities. And it's the same powerful feature set, but now in a 48-port configuration for enterprise-grade performance. So when your deployment grows, this is the switch that will grow with you. And finally, let's not forget audio. Our DIO series brings high-performance Dante audio processing to any AV over IP system. So we have 4x4, 8x8, and 16x16 analog I/O models and built-in DSP, including EQ, AGC, and echo cancellation. So these interfaces deliver pristine audio wherever you need it. So whether you're outfitting a courtroom, a classroom, or a conference hall, this is how you ensure great sound to match your video infrastructure. So we've covered transport, distribution, video, audio, as well as streaming, but none of it means much without one crucial piece, which is control. So enter Icon, our award-winning control and automation system. So Icon is what turns powerful distributed AV systems into cohesive, intelligent experiences. It unifies your endpoints, displays, lights, sources, cameras, environmental systems, and makes them feel like one brain working in harmony. But what makes Icon truly stand out is its simplicity. Icon is built from the ground up to be intuitive, scalable, and powerful. Whether you're deploying in a classroom, a multi-zone, hospitality space, or a hybrid workplace, Icon helps you control the complexity and hide it from the user. So let's dive a little deeper. So at the core of Icon are three pillars: simplicity, connectivity, and compatibility. Simplicity, so the interfaces are clean, intuitive, and easy to program, even for users without a technical background. Connectivity, so we support a wide range of protocols: LAN, RS-232, RS-485, IR, relays, digital I/O. So that means you can connect practically anything that can be controlled, from projectors to lighting systems to HVAC. And compatibility. Our ecosystem includes everything from touch panels, keypads, to central controllers, with no third-party components needed. So you can build a complete system with full interoperability right out of the box. So whether you're running a single boardroom or a massive hotel, the goal is the same: make control invisible to the user, but incredibly powerful under the hood. Now let's talk about what really sets Icon apart. Easy Control is our proprietary control platform, and it features Easy, which is our programming language. And it is also the world's first human-readable programming language designed for non-programmers. It uses mouse click logic, autofill guidance, and visual blocks to make the control and automation process as simple as possible. But it's not just for beginners. Easy Control does offer the option to code in Java, and even with the use of Easy language, it is powerful enough to handle advanced logic, conditionals, macros, and multi-zone automation. So this is truly control democratized. No more outsourced programming or locking clients into proprietary support. Easy Control truly gives your team the keys to build, edit, and grow independently. And so, as we conclude today's conversation, I want to challenge you to think about AV over IP not as a technology, but as a lens through which we now shape how people interact with space, how we design for inclusion and adaptability, and how physical and digital environments converge. AV is no longer the last thing installed, it's becoming the first thing considered. It influences how we feel in a space, how we collaborate, how we learn, worship, and make decisions. And as systems shift from being hardware-defined to software-driven, our job isn't just to route signals, it's to engineer presence. And we're seeing AV over IP unlock new possibilities: environments that configure themselves, experiences that span physical and virtual boundaries, spaces that respond to people instead of forcing people to adapt to that space. And here's the deeper question. So what happens when AV becomes so seamless it disappears? When it's no longer something you use, but something that simply is? So that's where we're heading, and it's why flexibility, scalability, and human-centric design must guide every decision we make moving forward. So whether you're designing for 5 rooms or 50 locations, whether you're solving for today or building for tomorrow, the decisions you make about AV infrastructure will shape not just systems, but the experiences people remember. And in that mission, PureLink is here to help, not just as a product provider, but as a partner in rethinking what AV can do. So just one last thing before we close out today's class, I want to invite you to sign up for a newsletter via our website or follow us on social media to stay up to date on the latest news regarding product launches, events near you, as well as future webinar classes. But That is all for today. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at sales@purelinkab.com. And thank you for joining us for today's session.